I said in last week's column that I have never been so worried about Port Vale as I am now. It's fair to say those worries haven't gone away. We can't survive like this, losing games and dropping further down the table towards the relegation zone. If we drop out of the Football League it would be so hard to get back. But more than that, I would fear for the future of the club. I feel like we are on a tightrope and we could fall either way. Whether it is the players, management or whatever, something has to change, and sooner rather than later, before we get into a position where we can't change. Weather warning issued for Wales ahead of Port Vale's game at Newport. We struggled last year and I so hoped that we wouldn't find ourselves in the same situation again. I wasn't expecting us to be pushing for promotion. Mid-table would have been okay with me after what we went through last season, but instead we find ourselves in another relegation battle. Neil Aspin sounded like a shell of a man in his interview after Saturday's 1-0 defeat at home to Carlisle. It was obvious to everyone how disappointed and frustrated he is. That's something Vale fans can certainly relate to. Frustration and disappointment are our middle names at the moment. Port Vale fans watch the home win over Cambridge on the opening day. But hopes of competing in the top half of the table have not come to fruition. We all respect Neil. He has been a great ambassador for the club. Unfortunately, he has faced a huge struggle here as a manager. We had the same with Martin Foyle and Dean Glover, who are both also wonderful ambassadors and players with the club, and, when they became managers, perhaps got a bit more leeway with the fans because of that. There comes a point where fans get to the end of their tether, but only Norman Smurthwaite and Neil can decide what happens now. As for Saturday's defeat, I thought we were a bit unlucky because Ricky Miller's sending off didn't look to me like it should have been a red card. I felt sorry for Ricky because he has just got back in the team and is likely to be banned for 3 games, but I felt sorry for us as well because we are already without Tom Pope and now Ricky's red card leaves us without an experienced striker. Ricky Miller pleads his case after being sent off for Port Vale v Carlisle. Regardless of whether it should have been a red card or not, that's another home defeat, and that means we have won just one of our last 11 home games. We can't survive like this. Port Vale 0, Carlisle 1. Starman and player ratings. It was pleasing to see our keeper Scott Brown say that the problems with our pitch are not the fault of groundsman Steve Speed. We all know what a great job Speedy does in trying circumstances, so Scott was quite right to make that clear before he got a few complaints about the pitch off his chest. Sorting the pitch out was something that was talked about when Norman Smurthwaite and Paul Wilds first took over. But I think they then discovered that, because of the clay under the pitch, it would be a massive job and cost a fortune. So, it's left to Speedy to do what he can.